else? You got any announcements you want to make, Lloyd?
Nothing specific. I got I'm going to announce if you've been following my bathroom remodel. I got it finished. Well, like I said, keep my fingers crossed. The final inspection is supposed to happen this afternoon. So we shall see. Hopefully it's no biggie. The roughing inspection went pretty easy. So got my 1960s bathroom dimensions were grandfathered in, I guess, that because I remember the contractor who was working with me saying, well, he said, well, I hope they grandfather in because the distance between the tub and the toilet and the toilet and the vanity doesn't meet the current code. You couldn't build a house like that today with that dimensions, but they realize that they're not going to make you tear down your whole house just to meet current standards.
Lloyd, is there a certain amount in St. Charles they require you to get a permit, or could you have slipped by just doing it?
I could have. In fact, that's why a lot of the plumbers said, oh, you want to do it with a permit? They had two prices, with or without a permit. And I said, well, since they have an occupancy, every time I change occupancy, I have an occupancy inspection. And it's the same inspectors that come in that are doing all the other building inspectors. They just work it in their schedule. So I figured, okay, I happened to get the same inspector that came looked at last time. He was looking at, hey, what's this here? I don't remember this new tub. And so I figured, okay, play it safe. Go ahead and pay the extra.
Would he tell you if you don't need a permit then?
$75. It was like, yeah, I don't know what they do. I didn't want to find out. I've had some folks around here that are, tackled with City Hall. My brother was one of them, and it didn't come out pretty.
No,
there's a guy in my neighborhood that built a garage, thought he could build a detached garage in his backyard, and he backed up to a creek. And when they found out what it was happened, the city got wind of it. It was a big. I know it hit. Had all kinds of stop orders placed all over his house, and finally he ended up trying to jack it up and move it up out of the floodplain of the creek. I guess to set it up, he got permission to do that, and the whole thing fell apart while he was trying to move it. So he just tore it down, and I put a for sale sign in his yard. He said, heck, I'm going to get out of St. Charles. They're going to give me this hassle just for building a garage. So don't want to go do that. So as long as they play their game, as long as they stay reasonable.
Down in Austin, Texas, they're using drones flying around and looking for building going on without permits.
Yeah, in St. Charles, they're constantly cruising their little white pickup trucks with the city and this engineering division or community development on them. Yeah, they're cruising. I see them every day practically cruising around the neighborhood, and they're in between jobs. They're just cruising, looking for somebody putting up a fence without having a permit or looking for something to ding you with. Yeah. They got to get their cut.
It's revenue.
It's revenue. That's it. Yep. And if you push comes to shove, they would tell you that the truth is it's a source of revenue. They didn't do anything to earn that $75. And the quick 2 minutes that the guy came in to do the roughing inspection and was out of there, they didn't. That more than paid for his labor. So.
Good morning, guys.
Morning, Ann.
Speaking of bathrooms, does anyone know someone that can resurface or reglaze a bathtub?
Ooh, I have had that done in the past. There's a number of companies that do it. I'd have to dig through my files. It's probably been.
Yeah, I know there are companies. There are companies, and they charge like up to $600, but you can get the kit for $30 at Home Depot. And I'm just wondering if you're any individuals that could apply the material.
Oh, is it just a brush-on kit?
Yeah. I mean, if you can, yeah, if that's because it's not really damaged. It's just some roughness in the bottom of the tub. So that's why, if you could just kind of, someone's mentioned something about there's a spray on something, like a glaze to just to improve the appearance of the tub. But I'm just wondering if you guys have experienced anything like that.
Mm.
I've done it to change the color when I was upgrading. I've done it just to change the color from a blue or an aqua color to a white, because I was putting in white tile and changing the flooring, and didn't want to bust up a cast iron tub that was in perfectly good condition other than the ugly color.
Yeah.
But anybody else had any experience? Amber, did you start to say something?
I've had it.
Yeah,
done. It's the. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Amber.
No, yeah, I was just gonna say I've redone my my bath using the kit that you just probably the same kit you're mentioning, and it wasn't hard at all.
And it turned out pretty good.
Oh, beautiful! Changed the whole look of the bathroom. I think
yeah.
if I recall, the bathroom tile might have been pink before, and I went with like a white, so it brightened up the whole bathroom.
Oh, did you do the tile on the wall too? Did you paint the tile on the wall the same color as the tub? No,
Sounds like you
Yeah.
did. So, yeah.
yes, you did.
So,
Okay.
So Amber, you did it yourself?
Yeah, sorry if I'm having audio issues. Yeah, I did it myself. It was simple. I mean, just went to Home Depot, asked the guys what kind of paintbrush I needed, and then I did it myself. Now, it did require, because I did the tub and the walls, and it was a small bathroom, I think I ended up using 2 of those kits.
Okay, yeah. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of that, but I never have tried that myself. So what I was doing, I just needed, I was putting up new tile on the walls, so I just had a guy come. I mean, I want to say it was only $300 or less. It's been five or 6 years ago to spray. Yeah, and some of the companies came in and wanted $600 and $700 to do just to spray a tub. But and they do a good job of prepping too. They use some. At least when I had old clawfoot tubs down in South City in my apartments, I had several of those done when they had some rough areas. But usually, those 100-year-old tubs, some of that porcelain is holding up just fine, and a lot of them. But I've had some that were rusting out around the drain, had a rusty spot, and they kind of clean that up with hydrofluoric acid and everything. And that I don't want to mess with myself, so I let somebody do that. And yep, they turn out good.
You might go look on YouTube. That's where I find out a lot of stuff and see whether I want to do it myself or not, because you just do a little search on there. I'll guarantee you somebody's reglazed their own tub, and you can find out if it's something worthwhile.
Video, I'm sure.
Yep. That's a great university for no cost.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I did go to YouTube, and they were talking about like wearing a mask and a lot of sanding, and it seems like it's very detailed. So I was wondering if someone, it's not that bad, huh, Amber?
No, it wasn't. I mean, yes, I sanded it just so it could adhere a little bit, but you're not down there scrubbing for hours or anything. I mean, if you sand it, clean it well, and then just apply it, I was surprised how quickly it looked nice. I mean, it was very transformative. So, I mean, I would definitely recommend, if you're if you can paint, you can definitely do it yourself. It is not hard at all.
Yeah, okay. I think I'm gonna try it. Yeah. And it's just the tub itself is in really good condition. It's just some parts in the bottom of the tub that's not smooth. But I think that it should be pretty easy then.
Yeah, and I will say, just like the videos, because to Lloyd's point, I went on there myself and I looked. It does appear to look like milk at first, so be careful not to spill it. And it's that type of consistency, but once you start, it starts to harden up very quickly. I mean, when I say very quickly, I mean within 30 minutes, it dries pretty quick. Now, I think it also says it's a 3-day cure. So it says leave it, once you're done, don't put any water on it after 3 days.
Yeah, I did see that too. I think after the process of cleaning it, it said wait 6 hours, I believe.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try. Thanks for talking me into trying it. I just wanted to know if someone had done it before. I don't want to just start out without some kind of understanding of it. Yeah.
Hey, I'll just
Amber,
add my
Amber,
2
can you
cents
come
in
over and
here.
show me how to do it at my house? Just joking.
And,
Go ahead.
Yeah. I was just gonna add my 2 cents here. I just reglazed 2 tubs this summer with the kits from Home Depot, and I had some spare for, they give you plenty to do the full tub per kit, but you're gonna need a really heavy duty mask because it's it's insanely strong. At least the product that I use, the odors, you don't want to be breathing that stuff. But just make sure you're following every instruction that you can. I mean, like Amber said, if you can paint, you can do it. Just make sure that you're cleaning, you're doing that detail work. The only thing that I would be concerned about in your case is I'm not really sure how well you can just do the base of your tub and then and not tackle the rest of it. You may need to do the whole thing just to make sure that it's uniform in color and it adheres well and doesn't peel off the bottom or anything like that. But yeah, just it's really strong. Make sure that I think there's like 2 coats, but don't wait for more than 3 hours between coats, something like that. So just make sure you're following all the instructions. But I can put in the chat. I saw a post about a few recommendations. I've never used them, so I'll just throw them in the chat. But I think $400 is the going rate for someone to do it for you. That's all for me.
Oh, thank you. Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for that comment. Yeah, and anytime you're working with some of that, most of that stuff is pretty nasty. You need to get a special respirator or solvents.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
as a nurse, I'm very cautious about things like that anyway. So yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So, okay, good. Yeah, and I agree with him about doing the whole tub. Yeah, if you got a rough surface on the bottom to make it match and all look good, you want to have a seamless cover the whole thing. Have a uniform color.
Yeah.
So,
Well, thanks, guys. Great advice.
okay, well, glad we could help. Hope to get a report back when you're finished.
Yeah, I will.
Laura put something in, it's pretty relevant here, pretty interesting. And then we got I know there's some more information coming out on this. The IRA proposed laws coming into effect. She's got a link in there. I think that's great. Thank you very much. I know Equity Trust is going to do a thing with Vina. I don't know if it's the next couple of weeks, and that'll be something you may want to tune in on her Monday nights that she's been doing. She did that 6-week no charge updates on what everybody's doing. And that's there's a lot of changes coming up here. I mean, a lot. And I did, I know we talked about it the other night, Lloyd, and I did finally talk to Linda DeMarler, and she is going to do our meeting on let's see, November 16th, our main event. She's gonna tune in from 7 to 8, even though she's out of Washington, DC. And we're going to have it where we can talk to her live and, with questions and stuff, but she's going to fill us in on all the taxes. She's like one of the top tax people in the country. So this is taking a while to get her, but I'm really glad the timing couldn't be probably much better because we've got a lot going on the next couple months as far as laws and what they're doing with our taxes and investments in particular. So, it's not just the people making 400,000 a year or more. It's everybody's getting affected by all this stuff, especially the IRAs. It's very interesting. We'll see what they do.
Yeah, yeah. When they set up the IRAs, they said, "Oh, you can grow tax free," and especially the Ross. It was like almost too good to be true for the government. And it sounds like now they're starting to back away from it and proven that it was too good to be true and trying to tap that for another source of income. But we did, yeah, yeah, I see you got a link here on in the chat for John Hires thing. But we also have got it on our website under the news, STLREIA.com, under the news heading at the top. I've got the article that there's a link to the article that Diana sent us from one of her IRA company, and then had a link. It even had a sample letter to write to your senators and congressmen to let them know that you would be very dissatisfied if they voted on anything that would jeopardize our Roth IRAs. Oh, anybody else got anything? Oh, there, Scott put his
Thank you.
put some information on there.
I got a question for the group.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm interested in looking for somebody to help me manage my property there in South St. Louis. And I'm not looking for the traditional property manager. You know, I have systems and everything in place to handle all the finances, and I just need somebody that lives in the area that would be willing to do. It's the kind of things where it's the boots on the ground type of activity, because I live about an hour and a half away, and so that's the primary need that I have. And so if anybody knows of someone that would be interested in picking up some extra change and would be willing to do that, I'd be interested to talk to them.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I understand if you're an hour and a half away, that can be a chore. For a while, I was half an hour away from some of my rental properties in South City when I moved back to St. Charles, and that was got to be a chore too, trying to stay on top of things. But okay, yeah, if anybody knows anybody that already lives in South City, or is South City, you said?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, okay. Or probably a handyman maybe that would
Oh, this would be somebody like, if tenant locks themselves out,
okay.
you know, and they need to get back in, doing periodic inspections, letting maintenance people in, you know, various things like that.
Okay. Okay, yeah, showing a unit when you got a vacancy maybe, and this kind of
Correct.
thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, well, that could be a relatively easy task then, wouldn't require a whole lot of high level of skills. Just good people skills, probably.
There you go.
That can dealing with your residents.
There you go.
Okay, understand.
Is his information in the chat?
Yeah, you want to put your
Oh,
contact information, Tim, in the chat?
Yeah, of course. I didn't think of that.
Okay. Or if you want to say it too, you can just go ahead and give us your email or phone number if you like.
There's a note in there too.
Oh, yeah, I just see
Ryan. He's interested. He lives in South City, so you might want to copy down his information there.
Yeah, well, you're in the chat. Look at Ryan. Let's see, Ryan Sparks left his contact information.
All right.
He may be able to help you out. Okay, anybody else got anything want to talk about today?
Who on here do rent to own? I know, Lord, you said you do some rent to own, but I couldn't get your email to go through.
Couldn't. Oh, do you have an SBC Global also? It's the only people I have
Yeah,
problems
I
with.
do have a SBC Global.
You'd think it would be the easiest one because I got an SBC Global, but the only ones I have problems sending, sending to or getting from are people with SBC Global.
Is that
Wow.
.net or .com?
.net.
See, that makes a difference. We used to have those coming when I was a mortgage broker, and people would confuse that all the time, and our documents would not get delivered. So you got to be real clear if it's .net.
Yeah, it is .net.
Yep.
Yeah, mine's a .net. I still have my SBC Global, so I knew how to do it.
Yeah, if you got one, it should be easy. You know it's .net.
Right. I had like a LAA lender.
Yep, at SBCglobal.net. Here, I'll put it in again.
It kept coming back. But anybody else do rent to own? I guess not. You ain't gotta speak all at once.
Okay. I just put mine in again there, but yeah, I do it. I don't do it exclusively. When I'm advertising, I advertise rent to own, or I will also do a minimum 2-year lease on our houses. And depends on who comes along first. If I get a good, well-qualified person that just wants to lease it for 2 or 3 years, I'll go ahead and sign them up, and then when they leave, I'll advertise it again the same way. So
Okay.
I always tell people I'm not in a big hurry to sell it, but so you don't have to worry about, because I get a lot of people that are looking at my houses. Yeah, my current landlord has decided he's going to sell the house because the prices are getting so crazy here. I said, no, don't worry about it. I don't sell my houses to anybody but the resident that are in there. So that's our policy.
Are there any particular locations you buy for rent to own?
I'm exclusively in St. Charles County, St. Charles City, and St. Peter's.
Oh, so they have to move out to St. Charles or St. Peter's.
There's a lot of people moving out here, though. So yeah, so there's always got a lot of interest in our houses when we put them on the market or when we advertise them for lease.
Right, but their job was in like St. Louis County.
Oh, okay.
County, right.
I'm sure I'm sure it would work anywhere. But you got somebody specifically that's looking for a lease to own. Okay.
Yeah.
In Louis
I'm
County.
Karen trying to find somebody who do rent to own. Yeah, they're trying to get out of apartment.
Okay.
Maybe connect with a local real estate agent to help you out.
Okay.
Yeah. Some agents, so they have, some people list houses like that, lease to own.
Alrighty.
I know back during the 2008, 9, 10, when houses weren't moving so fast, or when a lot of people were upside down on their mortgages, I think there was an agent out here in St. Charles that signed everybody up and said, hey, when he got a listing and said, well, are you willing to do a lease to own? We'll get you somebody in there, stop your negative cash flow, and sell it down the road in a couple of years. And he had anybody that would say yes. They got to check the box to check when you're filling out the MLS. Anybody that checked yes, he would gather those up and was pushing those for lease to own folks. There are a lot of people there that were upside down in a mortgage and couldn't sell it for the price to pay off their mortgage. That was a good strategy that worked well then. Let's see what's Yeah, Amber's asking, does anyone have a 2-bedroom available in the South City? Or the city? Got a tenant looking to relocate. Oh, and Tim says, oh, he's got a two 2-bedroom units. Okay, so maybe I can. Wow, 1,600. Wow, that must be some nice 2-bedroom units, or I'm not charging enough for my single family houses. Yeah. Good. Okay. Anybody else? Got anything you want to talk about today? If not, we can call it a short haul here. I'm curious. I'm going to call Mike Barr. If anybody was at the Tuesday meeting, Mike Barr was running around asking, trying to organize people to come back to lunch at Applebee's on the first Friday. He said he was going to be there and see if anybody else showed up. So I'll give him a call this afternoon and see if anybody showed up for his meeting. I don't know if, I'd like to, but I'm not quite ready. My wife and I haven't gone out to eat much at all in the last year and a half. So not quite ready to get it in a big crowd yet. No,
Shot you the test.
what's that, Marvell?
I shot you a test
You did. Oh,
on the email.
email. Okay, well, let me check. Let me check my email.
I've got one more thing while we're
Yeah,
waiting.
I got it.
I told you.
Got it, Marvell. Thank you.
All righty. So do anybody know how to do boarding homes in Missouri, St. Louis County, preferably?
No. Nope, don't have any experience there. I did meet somebody at a Mr. Landlord conference a few years back that was doing it in Texas, Houston. Yeah, she was in Houston, Texas, and was having pretty good luck with it. And I was curious. I kept thinking I was gonna, next time I'm in Houston, because I got a brother-in-law that lives down there, I was gonna give her a ring and see how that works. I might do that next time we go to Houston, but I haven't. Anybody else got any experience? Even with just renting out rooms in a house?
I check with the Airbnb rules. I don't know if they're similar or not, but that's about the same kind of concept.
Yeah, most of it would probably be longer term for a boarding house, but yeah, similar to Airbnb.
Yeah, I don't know. Some of them used to only rent for a couple of days or a week at a time, and I couldn't see much difference in hotels even going back 2,000 years on boarding houses. So I don't know. I don't think there's much new.
No, probably not.
Other than the city permits or whatever you got to do with the cities, they're regulations.
Yeah, and the regulations that allow them or don't or disallow them.
Right.
With the growing thing of Airbnb. I'm sure they had plenty of them back in the Depression. I know that's what I used to hear stories from my parents and my grandfather had he was a carpenter, and they had a big old house in the South City. And from my grandmother used to tell stories that, yeah, he worked hard, but during the Depression, he had a lot of clients that he never got paid for doing the work. He was too good-hearted, and it was my grandmother who rented out rooms upstairs to boarders that roomers that actually got them through the depression, kept the family fed. So that's my story on rooming houses. So, and probably coming back in fashion.
Oh yeah, a lot of people rent rooms because they can't afford to pay for a whole house plus
Sure.
utilities.
And there's a lot of people in a way, the working situation, people have to travel away from where their home is. And they might be, living live out of town and working in St. Louis, looking for a place to stay over during the week when they're here. And I know, one of my cousins up in Minnesota was that way. His company was way far outside of Minneapolis where he lived, and he rented a room from a little widow, an older widow in town, and was looking to make some little extra money off of her, some vacant room she had. So,
That was my neighbor next door. That's when I first heard about it. She had 2 rooms in her basement, and she rented them out as boarding rooms. But I'm like, how was they supposed to use the restroom? She didn't let them upstairs. They couldn't use a kitchen, a bathroom, nothing. They could just rent that room.
No, that wouldn't be too pretty. You didn't have at least a bathroom included with it. That could not be a pretty sight.
She had 1 bathroom, and she like, ain't nobody using it but her, but they agreed. They agreed.
No, that wouldn't be a pretty sight, but no. Hey, if you're gonna do that, you can at least afford to put in a bathroom in the basement if you're gonna rent out rooms out.
That's what I thought.
At least
A
one
bathroom in the
two rooms,
basement.
shared between 2 rooms. I mean, when I was in school down in Raleigh, I shared 1 bathroom with 4 other guys. We got along okay. It works. Yeah, no different than like in a college town. There's a lot of those college towns where rent out rooms, individual rooms to students.
Yeah. Then colleges got hip and they like, oh, we finna start making that money and start building apartments and all kinds of stuff off site dormitories. Yeah, because where I'm at, SLU and UMSL is buying up everything.
Oh, are they? Okay.
And renting it out to the students.
Okay. Well, there you go. If that's you're no different than them, if they're renting out. Right.
Yeah, that's what I thought about, because I'm not far from UMSL. So I'm like, if I get some property over here, I can rent it out to some students.
Sure.
I'm like, one of my old condominiums I lived in, UMSL bought it and rented it out to only students. I was like, oh my goodness.
There you go. Yeah, they're good, generally good clients. I know. When I lived in South City, I had my places. I used to advertise up at. I was just on South Grand, not far from the St. Louis U Medical School. And I would post on there. They had a housing office. I could post my stuff, and I actually went in the door and put some note cards on bulletin boards in some of the halls there. And I had several long-term tenants that were good, worked out good, and especially within the medical school, they don't have time to be party animals like some of the regular undergraduate college folks. So they worked out pretty good. And I actually got a doctor one time who was doing a special internship out of town that was looking for a place to stay while I was here. So, yeah, that worked out pretty good if you get some students, and word gets out that you can rent it from one student to another. In fact, I had a big, I forget, like a 3-bedroom apartment in one of my 2 families that 3 medical students went in together. I think there were 2 that started out, and I said, oh, you can have an extra. So I gave them the right to go ahead and lease it out to rent out another room to somebody else. And then when one left, the other ones wanted to stay on. And so they just continued on for several years after. Worked out very well.
Yep.
Well, nobody has anything else. That's about all I've got. for today, and at least Marvell got connected with me on email, so we can, if you got any other questions, we can correspond.
LOL.
Okay, you got anything else, John? Looking forward to, hey, yeah, let's let everybody know you, I don't know if you got folks lined up for the panel discussion on October the 19th, when we get back together in person. We're gonna have a panel discussion that evening. So if John
What
happens
does
to get,
Scott Winkleman do?
he's got rentals, I think.
Did I
Oh,
say his
man.
name right?
I'm getting called out here, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking to, I'm looking for fixer uppers, single family to 4 families right now. I'll flip if I need to, but would like to, hold long term. So I'm looking in like Maplewood, Richmond Heights, Rock Hill, Brentwood, South City, the whole Overland, St. John, St. Anne kind of areas. So if anybody's got anything,
Do
that'd be
those
great.
areas have multi-units? I seen
There's
St. John with a multi-unit before, but I'm like, oh, I ain't seen Overland. They got multi-units.
there's multi-units all over the place.
Yeah.
There's tons in South City, obviously.
Right.
Less in some of those other areas I mentioned, but single families too.
Okay. Well, you find something, let me know.
Yeah. Thanks for calling me out. Will do.
Okay. Well, nobody has anything else? John, you got any parting comments?
No, the only thing is I will be on vacation next week. We'll make arrangements to have our meeting anyway. I don't know what we'll do. We'll talk about that, Lloyd. But yeah,
Okay.
Laura and I are going to be on vacation, so I don't know where we'll be. We were planned on being down in Grand Isle, and they had a hurricane and wiped out the place we were staying at or going to stay at. So I don't know. So we're looking at a few different things. So I don't know. We're making a last minute decision now is what we decided. So just to see what happens, where the hurricanes are going to be. I don't think they're having any hurricanes in Missouri this week, so we may do a local trip.
Stay closer to home, huh?
I don't know.
John, if you would have bought that island when you were going to, you'd have a place to go.
Well, I'd probably be collecting on the insurance money right now if I could have afforded the insurance.
Yeah. We probably have hurricane exemptions on island properties.
They do it a lot of insurance. The insurance you really got to look at too.
Yeah.
Even the earthquake insurance around here, I had it for many years and it was like 10% deductible, which I found out, but they raised when I bought my house over in Florissant back in 92, it started off at $200 more a year. And when they finally got rid of me, I didn't get rid of them. It was like $2,000 a year around 10 years later. Went up every year. And then they just discontinued it because they figured we're going to have an earthquake. So you got to look at all that stuff. The exemptions are really unbelievable sometimes. But I would imagine the hurricanes are in there somewhere.
Yeah, insurance companies are in the business of making money. You know that. All those big buildings in downtown areas that have that mutual life insurance, whatever names on them. There's a lot of insurance premiums that paid for those buildings.
Oh yeah. So other than that, everybody have a great week, great weekend.
Yeah.
Great week.
Take care, yeah. And I'll be here. We can work out something with John.
What?
Get back together this next week, same time.
Watch your inboxes for upcoming announcements, but we'll see y'all soon. Thanks for tuning in.
Okay, thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Thanks.